It should have been him. He should have died, not Marshall or Sky. They were in love. They were good pups. They had a whole life ahead of him. He was jealous, a murderer who led his closest friends to near their doom. All because of their stupid monkey's dead paw. Unlike last time, he didn't leave his pup house for anything. Ryder had to force food and water into the pup house as Chase spent his time crying. He didn't care about his well-being, and he was already broken enough as it is. All he could see was Sky's blissful smile as she swung side to side on a tree branch. It had been the days since then. He didn't know what happened to the others, nor did he care. He didn't think about the funeral, or wake up, or the aftermath. He just wanted to lay there, suffer his guilt, and slowly waited to die. The monkey's paw was there by the corner, free of its 5 fingers folded, and it's mocked him just sitting there. He had tried to tear it apart, set it on fire, and even threw it away again and again, but each time it did, it reappeared without him noticing. He hated it, and it was really starting to hate magic. It still had 2 thumbs ready to fold, waiting to be used. But that's what you want, isn't it? You want me to use you? You want me to make others suffer? You want me to suffer? Is that it? Well, I'm not gonna. You hear me? I'm not gonna. I'll... There was only one way out. End it, finish it all, take his own life, and let the peaceful embrace of his death free him from this curse. It didn't matter who he hurt anymore. He had ruined his family beyond repair. And what? One more death, so why aren't I gonna do it? He had been telling himself for the past few days. All it would take was a simple slip off of the cliff. One swipe of a knife across his throat, yet he hesitated. Coward. There was a knock on his pup house door. Chase groaned as he just let it lay there, staring at the wall, hoping they would just go away. It still continued as Chase grumbled and tried to cover his ears with his paws. Go away! The knocking continued. I said go away! I stopped, but then the door opened much to Chase's annoyance, as he slowly turned around and saw Rocky, staring at him with narrowed eyes. I half expected to see you dead in here. Sorry to disappoint. Please leave and maybe you'll get your wish in a few days, grumbled Chase, turned to his side. You're acting pathetic, Rocky muttered, shaking his head as he sat down sighing. You missed the funeral. I didn't want to go, muttered Chase. She was your friend, Chase. Yet I couldn't save her. I can't save everyone. Rocky muttered something under his breath, but Chase didn't even bother for trying to listen. Look, I get it. Really, I do. Chase slowly turned to face him. You really think you're the only one who's suffered from this? Zuma and Rubble are gone. Chase... Gone? Asked Chase, standing up in shock. What do you mean? They're traumatized. Ryder took them to a mental hospital, sighed Rocky, lowering his head. There's a talk about animal care getting involved and having us being removed from Ryder's care. All because that's all happened. And they think he's an unfit owner. That's bullshit, shouted Chase, stomping his paw. Ryder's been the best owner in the entire world. He loves us and we love him. Well, they think the 2 dead pups, one is from taking their own life, and 2 more fragile mental states are proof enough that he isn't. Everest is okay since Jake is her owner, but we're not going to be so lucky. We'll be sent to separate homes. Paw Patrol is finished, muttered Rocky, tears in his eyes. No, whispered Chase, whimpering. He didn't care about his own fate anymore. He did care about the others. Who will Ryder have left? His parents are gone. He has no family. I don't know, Rocky said, shaking his head. I just wanted you to know, because sometime soon, we'll be leaving here. He slowly got up and moved over to the door. Pausing, he looked over his shoulder and muttered, You should talk to him when you get the chance. Chase didn't say anything, and he just stood there in silence as Rocky left. It took about an hour, But Chase finally managed to crawl out of his pup house, and for the first time in days, the sun's rays was almost blinding him as he struggled to find his footing and the breath of the fresh air. He also could smell how stinky he was, wondering if he should take a bath at some point. Heading to the lookout, he noticed how empty it was. There was no sound of laughter or parade of paws jumping up and down, no TV or games being played, no treats being distributed by the snack machines, not even the sound of Ryder playing his game on his pup pad. It was all silent as a graveyard. Just looking around, he could see what used to be a normal day in his mind. Marshall and him saying pup pup boogie as Marshall tried to do the tailspin, only to wipe out. Rocky reading a book next to the open window as a cool breeze flew over his ears. Zuma and Sky solving a puzzle while arguing with which piece went there. Rubble eating whatever snack he could get his paws on. And Ryder watching his pups with proud smile on his face, like a father to his children. Just a few weeks ago, it was all like that. Now it was gone. His friends were dead, traumatized, or even being about to be taken away. His family was broken. The team was all scattered, and it made Chase wish that this was all went away. Even went to the monkey's paw in his hands. Closing his eyes, he made his way to the elevator and pressed the up button. The town of Adventure Bay was before him as the elevator slowly rose up. Pressing a paw on the glass, he wondered if he would still be here when animal care came for him and Rocky. Would they put him in the owner of or an orphanage in a town someplace or far away? Would they ever be able to see each other after this? The elevator ended as he slowly walked out, trying to find Ryder. He spotted him being near his beanbag chair, looking at a photograph. Slowly, Chase walked over towards him as Ryder slowly looked upward. There were dry tear marks on his cheeks, and Chase could smell the water that was coming from his misty eyes. He didn't even hesitate. He jumped onto Ryder's arms and hugged him. The two stood there in silence. His first pup, his first owner. "They won't take me. I won't let them," muttered Chase, sniffling. "We'll run away, grab Rocky, Zuma, and Rubble, just fly away, an island or something. We'll live there forever." "Chase, please, Ryder. We lost Marshall and Sky. I don't want to lose you or anyone else, please." Scratching his pup ears, Ryder muttered, "Chase, I'll do everything I can to keep you. I already got a lawyer coming and everything." He gave a smirk at this pup and winked. "Trust me, I'm not going down without a fight." Chase gave a small smile and nodded before biting his lip. "Sir, Ryder?" He hesitated at first, but then shook his head. What if I told you they're responsible for all this?" Ryder tilted his head. I know this is going to be hard to believe, but I wish for this to happen." When he said that, everything he had been holding for days, the gypsy dog, the monkey's paw, Marshall and Sky's deaths, his wishes, everything he had confessed to the point where his throat became dry as a desert when he finished. Taking deep breaths, he looked at Ryder, who was staring at him with a sultic face. Then Ryder just sighed and whispered, "Chase, you don't need to make up a lie to make me feel better." "But sir, it's the truth." "Chase, please. I know you want to blame yourself, but you are not going to blame for Marshall and Sky's death," said Ryder, shaking his head. "The monkey's paw are just a superstition. The gypsy was just messing with you, to sell it to you and acting like this. Chase, you're just imagining it. Trust me." He opened his mouth but stopped himself. I knew he wouldn't believe me, and if Ryder doesn't believe me, who else will? He then stood and nodded his head slowly before getting off his owner. "Hey, I'm going to order pizza for the three of us. You want some?" "Yeah, I think I need a bath first. Can we watch a movie?" asked Chase, slowly smiling. Of course. It wasn't just perfect, but Chase still felt more relaxed that evening since Sky's death. The movie they had watched sucked, but it was funny to make fun of it. The pizza was tasty, and having eaten So little, for it's so long, it hadn't been a surprise that Chase ate half of the box. Rocky even joked on how much he would have eaten, rubble underneath the table. But that was only made them feel sad and guilty. Their two youngest were still in the mental hospital, unable to come to terms with what just happened. Things went quiet after that. With a full belly, Chase slowly retreated to his pup house and collapsed with a sigh. Closing his eyes, he felt himself slowly falling asleep as he wondered what was going to happen. Would he be separated from his friends? Would he ever find happiness? There was just a better way to get over with it. God, I wish they were alive again, whispered Chase as he slowly closed his eyes. The fourth finger folded. Many miles away from the cemetery, there were two gravestones. One was holding the bravest fire pup, and Adventure Bay had been known to the other's most daring air pup they ever had. The two of them had been buried side by side to rest in eternity. Both graves were covered with flowers, some fresh, some days old, and all some for those who had loved them as heroes and their icons of their own. They had remained undisturbed for so long. It was almost a daring photo that was still all to come. Yet that was soon to change. A figure had appeared, one that looking for days to get this chance. Her stupid owner and her idiot of a duke were on the same charity tour as the poor pups, the children of the Barkling Burg. The thought of it even getting near such a dirty little rats near her perfect white coat made her nearly throw up. When she finally became queen, she would see it, and to all those brats wasting tax dollars on orphanages were sent to workhouses or factories like some good use came of them. That money should be better than and suited for something better, like suits of me, thought Sweetie, as she walked up to the two gravestones with a smirk. Shouldn't be too long for the Paw Patrol, no longer a problem. She then heard about Marshall and later Sky being dead, and she pretended to be sad, just like everyone else was. Her owner held even the day of the remembrance twice, and personality went to two funerals herself. Sweetie was forced to go, but only pretended to look sad and regretful in truth. She wanted to find that snake and kiss it for doing this. Two of the biggest problems were dead and gone. Just how she was hoping for. Sure, she never fought that right to try to kill Paw Patrol, as tempting as it was, but she wasn't going to ignore it. In the horse's mouth, it was a gift. Sweetie never believed in God, but there had been one to bless her with such luck. And the rumors have it, Paw Patrol ending after Sky's death, it may as well been a Christmas. Of course, there had been a different reason why she was here. So much so as she enjoyed the results of both corpses of the respectful wakes. She wanted to do something nasty to the two of them, but they had stopped her time and time again from taking over the crown, and it was high time she put those two in her own place, even if they were dead. Good thing she drank a lot of water for her to flight to here. Lowering the rump over Sky's grave, she sighed in relief and began to mark her territory on the tombstone. That's right, bitch. You're mine even in death. She made sure to stop that halfway to save some for Marshall. Humming herself to the Paw Patrol famous catch song in the funeral of Marchtone, she failed to notice that some of the dirt all over Marshall's gravestone was moving. Sweetie was ignorant of this, however, but she moved over closer to the rump to spray her urine, not seeing the paw that slowly began to come out. Hero pup graves defiled, royal pet found dead at scene. Last night, Mr. and Mrs. Ling were going to visit the grave of their son who had died in the Iraq War when they saw the gravestones of our beloved lost heroes, Marshall and Sky of Paw Patrol, had just been opened, their coffins smashed, liner was formed limb to limb. were the remains of the one royal pet, Sweetie of Berksinkenberg. Authorities quickly arrived on scene to see if there was any traces of the missing bodies or thieves that took them and murdered the young pup. She was torn apart in pieces like meat. You can even see the teeth marks everywhere on her body, with her blood and guts scattered all over the place, reported the Officer MacDon. I even heard that some bits of her, both inside out and that are missing. Neither Ryder or Paw Patrol or the Princess of Barkensburg have given a statement yet.